Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2024 Jayco Whitehawk 26 FK travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for this awning. On your off campsite, besides leaving room for both your slides, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. It's going to connect right up underneath this slide. So park accordingly so that you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. There's your water connection and your power. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper right here, this hand crank, the smaller of the two in your unit, we'll get on this and get this up and down. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Your unit comes with power stabilizing jacks. Now this foot here should stay loose. I'm also going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. These jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop in the summer. A really good investment. Hit extend. Now sometimes one will run down by itself, sometimes both will run down. Run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's level. All we're trying to do at this point is stabilize it. Once it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, go ahead and stop. Now real quick, you do have a manual override again. Should you lose power, you can use this hand crank to get these back up. Run them down on the front. Same thing here on the rear. This still feels like it's going to lift the unit. Got our unit level and stable. Now we can hook up our power and water. Unit comes with a big long 50 amp cord. Plugs in here on the side. The way these go in now, it's like a pistol grip. So point it in at about 11 o'clock, turn it to noon, and then put on your black washer. Now again, at the end of this 50 amp service, should you need it, there is a 50 to 30 amp reducer in your convenience pack, as well as a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. One more step. All we're going to do is walk over to our hot water heater and make sure that our pressure release valve, which we may have left open last time we were camping, make sure that is closed so this will fill with water. This will lift right up off here. Yeah, just make sure that that's closed down there and you are all set. It's just a little screw, black screw that'll turn to the right to tighten that up. Now you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now after that hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside and open up our slides so that we can get into our bathrooms and our sinks up front and open up all of our sinks and showers and get a steady flow of water running through them. Then you can shut them off and you'll be all set to camp. So go ahead and open these up. In the rear, step into your bedroom back here. Wrong way. We're going to hit out. There's controls for that one. Head up here. Slide, extend. And again, just getting up in here and open up our sink Get a nice steady flow of water going through it, get all the air out of the lines, and then you'll be all set to camp. Now let's say, let me get this slide out. Let's say we're gonna go camping and we're not gonna use city water. We're gonna go dry camping. In that case, we're gonna fill up our potable water. Now, freshwater tank is just to the right of your entry doorway. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater spot. Keep an eye on that while you're filling it up. Once it's full, remove that hose, put this cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. I'll show you that when we get indoors. Alright, we're all set to camp with power and water. I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. I'm going to start up here in the front, again with our power tongue jack. Our propane does have a cover. Regulator, pointed toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. Again, check your batteries every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. In our storage area here, this is our docking light for up front. One touch lighting for here. Access panel to some plumbing with a square bit. A couple of 110s, our hot water heater again. The manual override for your slide. That crank will go in there, bring that slide in if you lose power. Fluid for your furnace, a couple of things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. And two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Again, our freshwater tank. We've got a light for our steps. A couple of outdoor speakers. I missed this one here. That is a vent for your cooktop. This is a removable TV mount. Use that on the TV and snap it out here. Cable and 110. Separate entryway for your bedroom again. Stabilizing jacks in the rear. Here's your low point drains. Right down here, as well as a quick connect LP. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, a few times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Maintaining the roof of this unit is priority. It's going to save the life of your unit. You've got a backup camera, or you prep for a backup camera. You purchase one and set on the dash of your tow vehicle. The other part will attach to this, give you a backup camera for the unit. Spare tire has a cover. Highly recommend leaving that on there to keep that from dry rotting on you. Speaking of dry rotting, they've got a spray that'll go on your wiper seals. This is just a rubber, so you want to keep that nice and pliable and flexible over the years. Add to the longevity of the life of your trailer as well. Coming back here is where you can plug in the cable at the campsites. Tank flush, we'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. City water. This low point drain is that white handle right there. That'll dump our freshwater drain. Then here's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. There it is right there. That's your freshwater drain. These are going to be your gray and black tanks. Your other slide. Got another low point drain, easier access when the slide is closed, as well as your gray tank handle up here, which is going to be for your sink up front. Shower, hot and cold outdoor shower. Battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. Well, it covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, so the first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Just make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway. All the way up to my right is going to be a control panel. This is where you'll be able to see the level of your battery, black, fresh, and gray tanks. Show here, battery here. Here's where you turn on your water pump to utilize this water. This is where you'll hold that fresh water button down to watch that fill up. But once that's full, this is where you turn that on to get that. Living room lights, awning lights. Below that, your awning. Quick note on your awning. You only want to run that out, pushing up where it says extend. You only want to run that out until you can see your brown bar and that flat piece fall down. If I were to hold that down, that'll flip itself up onto itself and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Only run it out as far as you need to. Also, another thing on these is these ones have a pitch control. If you do have a light rain, a sprinkle, and picnic tables down there, you don't want everything getting wet, come down here and pull on that. That'll tilt your awning away and run it all down to one end. But with that in mind, these aren't really made for rain. They're generally set up to give you shade. Give you shade outside. Light rain maybe, but any high winds or heavy rains, go ahead and pull this in. Save yourself the trouble of this awning getting messed up. So as I run that back in, I will mention slam locks work best when gently slammed. Also in the doorway, as soon as you walk into your left on the bottom, gonna be your breaker box and fuses. What we got over here? A couple of 25s and a handful of 15s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you take off to go camping. I'm gonna come in and go to the right. Oh, before I take off, here is where you'll turn on your hot water heater. Once that's full of water, you'll turn that on here. Here's your on off button and set that temperature to where you want it. Coming in, you have a snap-in removable table. You can set up here in the living room. You can set up outside, wherever you want. Fridge controls are inside, right there for your fridge. Freezer back down the bottom there. Down below your fridge is going to be your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you do take this out dry camping, nothing plugged in, charging your batteries, no solar power or anything, go ahead and use your battery disconnect if you're going to be gone for the day to keep this running your battery down. Up top, a self-explanatory microwave. Below that, a fan and a light above your cooktop. This glass top, if you fold that backwards, makes a nice backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Turn this to a flame. Hit your spark. That'll light these up when your gas is full. On your oven, go to light. Turn this panel light down. Hit your spark here just like you would everywhere else, and that will light your oven light. Make sure you see your pilot get lit, and then turn it to your desired temperature. Got a pop-up power port over here. Charging and 110s. Push it in to hide that away. Cranked over window. Another power port over there. Plumbing. So if you travel a lot in this and you're bouncing this up and down the road, keep an eye on your plumbing. Make sure nothing wiggles loose over time. Chairs. Strap them down with these straps for travel. You also have a cable extension. You can lift this up for storage or pull this part out for a table extension. Must make sure that extension goes back in for traveling. Otherwise, when this slide comes in, not sure how close it may get to that fridge. Your recliners here, you've got these cup holder tables. Parachute pull recliners, what I like to call them. Reach here and pull on that, and that will bring your legs up. As this reclines back. And then use your own feet to push it back down. Also remember that these fireplaces are not just for looks. I can turn it on and show you the pretty colors, but the biggest thing is the heat, folks. That's the dimming. Temperature. It's on 69. I already feel the heat cranking out of it. If you're at a campsite, you're plugged in, don't waste your gas. If it's chilly in here in the morning, turn this on. This will get it toasty in here in no time. Up above that, AM, FM, Bluetooth, IRV technology sound system. I'm going to scan for a channel. I don't know how well we'll do inside this metal building. Yeah, not too well. These usually pick up pretty well. indoor and outdoor. But being inside this metal building, I'm not gonna pick up much. TV, just when you arrive at the campsites, make sure you go in and run a digital channel scan. Go to your local channels, run a digital channel scan, so your antenna will pick up the local channels. Up here in the ceiling real quick, smoke alarm, or AC, which I'm getting ready to run here in a minute. A hand crank open. Power vent up here. 4 different speeds. Off. Night shade. For some day skylight. Accent lighting here, and charging ports next to your TV. In the hallway. So this isn't as difficult as it looks. You just got 2 zones and your modes. That's what I'd be concerned with. We're in zone 1. Mode, oh, let's turn it on. Zone 1. We'll turn on the cool AC, which you hear blasting. Or close it and it'll go through all the vents. And notice when I shut that off, generally those ACs shut off rather quickly. Now I'm going to turn this back on. And I am going to go to heat. Turn the temperature up. Get that to crank on. You hear that in the return down there. So now what you will notice when I shut that off, it generally takes a few minutes to cycle through before the heat fan shuts off. Alright, coming up into a bathroom. Hand crank open. Fan, which should turn on down here, sorry. Turns on here or there. But hand crank open that. It's our lighting. More plumbing to maintain. Keep an eye on that. It's mostly PEX nowadays. Square-headed screw. 110 with GFCI reset is here in your bathroom. Your shower doors. You want to make sure that you have these snapped closed for traveling. Bedroom door. You want this snapped open for travel. That's going to give that the best control. Your Go Power solar controller. I will send you a separate video from Go Power on that, telling you all about the solar controller. Your only purpose in this is to make sure that you are on a the correct battery, which is going to be wet, and the tech will have that set on this before it goes in. Charging ports here on the side of your bed. Storage underneath. And our separate entry doorway, which remember, when you leave the campsite, make sure you lock that up. Emergency exit window here, just snatch this screen out, push that out. Same back there. Hand crank open. Exhaust here as well, which is really nice back in the bedroom if it gets really hot in here. Alright, that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I'm going to start back here in the bedroom. Shut that light off, and then I know any other lights that are on are going to be individual one-touch lighting. Now I'm going to turn my lights back on and bring this slide in. Make sure all your drawers over here are closed. Nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. Shut that light off. Secure this door. Secure our bedroom door, which of course will bring them steps up outside. Secure, close, lights off. Both of these doors secure for travel. This can travel like this. So what I like to do now, when I get into the living room, go to my control panel and shut off my living room lights. Now I see any other lighting I need to walk through and shut off by hand. Which is cool. Say you can leave just this one light on up here during the night. So all this little accent lighting is nice. You can individualize it instead of having one on controlling everything. Get your seats off. And this should shut off right there. Last one. Accent lighting above that. Now I turn to my control panel. Turn my lights back on, if I can find them. And say doors and drawers in here. Go through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed, especially these in your kitchen. Anything catches on this slide, it's just going to rip that drawer right out. So make sure everything is closed. Secure your chairs. Slide, retract. As this comes in, you see it always comes in bottom first. Because all the slide controls are down there. The importance of having everything closed up. I wanted you to hear that noise. That's just the slide mechanism saying I'm in all the way. It does the same thing going out. That's when you know to take your finger off it. All right, you shut these off. Exit the unit. Now the biggest thing on these steps, you're going to want this door all the way open. Otherwise, bring them up or down. This is going to catch on it. You see how close the clearance is on this? So keep an eye on it when you're bringing that in. Lock that in there. Now for traveling, we are going to lock and deadbolt this door, lift and turn this handle. Now you are going to, once you get to the dump station, open this door and go inside and check the levels of your tanks as you're dumping. Alright, if we are out dry camping, boondocking, anywhere but a campsite, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, get up underneath here, pull this white handle, that's going to be our freshwater drain, and dump right up underneath there, and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, we just simply retract on these. Also manual override on these. I think I showed you that with the hand cranks. We'll bring up these stabilizing jacks, and then we're going to head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. You're going to have your sewage is going to dump right behind your tire on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Got a 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Park accordingly, hook that up, and pull first your black holding tank. That's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, look at the level, empty or close to it, come back out here, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this tank flush valve. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open, hook that hose up here and turn that on for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose, all that washout water you just put in there, make sure that's drained, and then you can pull your black, or close your black handle. Leave your hose hooked up, come on up here to your gray holding tank. That's where you're going to pull that right there. That's going to be your sinks, your showers. This can be cleaner waters. It's going to clean your sewage hose out pretty good for you. When that's done, close that gray, come back here and pull this gray. Again, cleaner waters, your sinks, your showers. The rear ones. That front tank is going to be all of your front kitchen sink. When this one's done draining, go ahead and close that one. Get up underneath there and dump your low point drains. Then take your sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. instead of anywhere inside your unit, and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Whitehawk for many years to come. Happy camping.